Hey y'all, and welcome back to the party. It's your girl BrittReacts, and today we are reacting to George Carlin everyday expressions that don't make sense. Let's see what he has to say.
Now this next thing is about the English language. It's about little expressions we use. We all say them, the little sayings and expressions that we use all the time, most of us, and we never really seem to examine these expressions very carefully at all. We just sort of say these things as if they really made sense. Like, legally drunk. Well, if it's legal, what's the f***ing problem?
Yeah, what?
Leave my friend alone, officer. He's legally drunk.
We don't say this in 2023.
You know you can stick it. Well, why do we always assume everyone knows where they can stick it? Suppose you don't know. Suppose you're a new guy. You have absolutely no idea where to stick it. I think there ought to be a government booklet entitled Where to Stick It. Now that I think of it, I believe there is a government booklet like that. They send it to you on April 15th.
Well, there you have it. I've never heard of the term legally drunk or intoxicated. That has to be something from the 90s and was abolished sometime before I learned how to drive. Because what does that even mean? What does that even mean? I mean, the legal drinking limit. Huh. Guess I just answered my own question. I love that he's always dressed like a poet or an artist, like in all black. He's very chic, this man. Chic, George.
I believe there is a government booklet like that. They send it to you on April 15th. Undisputed heavyweight champion. Well, if it's undisputed, what's all the fighting about?
It's good.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch. You know that one, huh? Every time you see a story about a serial killer on TV, what do? They bring on the neighbor. And the neighbor says, well, he was always very quiet. And someone in the room says, it's the quiet ones you gotta watch. This sounds to me like a very dangerous assumption. I will bet you anything that while you're watching a quiet one, a noisy one will f***ing kill you. Suppose you're in a bar and one guy's sitting over on the side reading a book, not bothering anybody. Another guy standing up at the front with a machete, banging it on the bar, saying, I'll kill the next mother who comes in here. Who are you gonna watch? You can't right.
These are all very valid points, arguments, all of them.
Lock him up and throw away the key. This is really stupid. Where are you going to throw the key? Right out in front of the jail? His friends will find it. How far can you throw a key? 50, 60 feet the most. Even if you lay it flat on its side like that and you scale it, what do you get? An extra 10 feet, tops. This is a stupid idea, needs to be completely rethought. Down the tubes. Hear that one a lot. People say, the country is going down the tubes. What tubes? Have you seen any tubes? Where are these tubes? And where do they go?
The sewer, maybe? The toilet? I don't know. That's a good question. What are we doing in America? Where did these things come from? What are the origins?
And how come there's more than one tube? It would seem to me, one country, one tube. What, does every state all of a sudden have to have its own tube now? One tube is all you need. What, a tube that big? Somebody would have seen it by now. Somebody would have said, hey, Joey, look at the tube. Big tube over here. You never hear that. You know why? No tubes. We don't have tube one. We are essentially tubeless. Takes the cake. You know, say, boy, he really takes the cake. Where? Where do you take a cake? To the movies?
Half of these sayings I have only heard like my grandmother say, y'all. Like, honestly, I've never heard anyone use these terms in like everyday talk. This is so funny to me.
Where?
Where are you taking the cake?
Where do you take a cake? To the movies? You know where I would take a cake? Down to the bakery to see the other cakes. And how come he takes the cake? How come he don't take the pie? Pie is easier to carry than the cake.
Yes.
Easy as pie. Hey, wait. Cake is not too hard to carry either. Piece of cake. The greatest thing since sliced bread.
Oh, this, I want to know this one. My mom says it's a lot.
So this is it, huh, folks? Couple of 100,000.
Like, this is it? The greatest thing since sliced bread? Sliced bread is the greatest thing? This one's blowing my mind. I never thought about it. I wish he would give us the origin of these things. Like, I feel like George Carlin is the person. If there's one person to give us the origin, it would be GC here.
So this is it, huh, folks? Couple of 100,000 years.
And all we got is bread.
The pyramids, for Christ's sakes. Panama Canal, the Great Wall of China. Even a lava lamp. To me is greater than sliced bread.
Yo. The lava lamp was at one point in time in my life the pinnacle of greatness. Like, I used to want a lava lamp and the phone that was like clear and you could see all the like wiring and it was all rainbow colored. Now that is the best thing since. The best thing since a lava lamp. The best thing since the clear see-through phone. I'm on board with this one, George. All the other ones were good and right, but this is the one. This is the one.
Lava lamp. To me is greater than sliced bread. What's so great about sliced bread? You got a knife, you got a loaf of bread, slice the thing. And get on with your life.
Get on with your life.
Out walking the streets.
That's a
You know,
saying.
guy gets a parole. They say, now instead of being in prison, this guy is out walking the streets.
Okay.
How do we know? Maybe the guy's home banging the babysitter. Not everybody gets a parole is out walking the streets. A lot of times they steal a car, you know. And we ought to be glad. Thank God he stole a car. At least he's not out walking the streets. Fine and dandy. That's an old-fashioned one, isn't it? Yeah. Say to a guy, how are you? He says, fine and dandy. Not me. I never say that. You know how come? Because I'm never both of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'm fine.
Fine and dandy. I've just never stopped to break any of these down and think about them. And now that they are presenting themselves in this way, it's like an aha moment. What is even dandy as an expression to say like how I feel? What is dandy?
Because I'm never both of those things at the same time. Sometimes I'm fine, not dandy. Close to dandy. Approaching dandy, in the vicinity of dandyhood. Not quite fully dandy. Other times, I am indeed highly dandy.
The stance?
However, not fine. One time, 1965, August, for about an hour. I was both fine and dandy at the same time. But nobody asked me how I was. And I could have told him. I could have told him.
The fact that he gave us a date is hilarious.
I could have said to the person, fine and dandy. I consider it a lost opportunity. Walking papers. You know, guy gets fired. You say, geez, poor guy. Well, they give him his walking papers today. Did you ever get any walking papers? Seriously? Believe me, in my life, I got fired a lot of times. You can tell.
I think some of these sayings have expired. I think they aged out. I've heard, like, a lot of these I've heard, like, on TV sitcoms and things like that, but just never in my everyday real life.
Believe me, in my life, I got fired a lot of times. You can tell.
You can tell.
Never got any walking papers. Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get?
Pink slip is one.
A guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the f*** out of here!" You don't need paper for that. It's like the Riot Act. The Riot Act. They keep telling you they're going to read that to you. Have you heard this thing at all? Especially when you're a kid, they threaten you. You wait till your father comes home, he's going to read you the Riot Act.
What the heck is the Riot
I already
Act?
read it myself. And I didn't like it either. I consider it wordy and poorly thought out. He wants to read me something. How about the Gentleman's Guide to the Golden Age of Blowjobs?
It's not often that in my almost mid-30s, I feel too young to be in the room. Like, it's just not often. Like, I feel like I'm always, like, poking fun at Gen Z. Like, kids, you might, if you don't know what MySpace is, if you don't remember MTV with music videos, you might be too young to be here. I feel like I'm too young to be in this room with these sayings. Like, I am not familiar with some of these sayings. Oh my gosh. I don't like that. I like to be in the wise room with the wise people who've been around and know things. I don't like to be at the kids' table. I don't like that.
The Golden Age of Blowjobs. More than happy. I bet you say that sometimes, don't you? Once in a while, you say to somebody, "Oh, I'd be more than happy to do that."
I never say that.
How can you be more than happy? To me, this sounds like a dangerous mental condition. We had to put Dave in the mental home. He was more than happy. One more of these. In your own words. People say that to you. You know, when you hear that a lot in a classroom or in a courtroom, they'll say to you, "Tell us."
Yeah.
In your own words. Do you have your own words? Hey, I'm using the ones everybody else has been using. Next time they tell you to say something in your own words, say, "Nick flat blarney quando flu."
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Half of those I've maybe heard in passing through years of like watching television. Others I knew. This was funny though. This was funny. Things just things you never think about in life. And then a comedian comes along and makes a bit out of it and you're like, no, wait. Anyway, loved it. Go have the day you deserve. Peace.